What's up guys, I'm randomfrankp, and today we're going to be checking out my favorite peripherals that I use at my setup for everything YouTube related, video editing, streaming, gaming, all that stuff. We're going to cover it all for you guys. Mouse, keyboard, mouse pad, audio, even like a secondary peripheral for a controller. So if you see anything you like today, I have it all listed for you in the description down below so you guys can check it out. But we'll kick it off now. What's my main loadout? Now first, visually when it comes to aesthetics, I'm definitely sticking to more of like a midnight green theme because I'm a big Eagles fan, that's their colorway, and it's been the color that I try to integrate with the channel. That also means no, midnight green is not teal. No, I'm not copying Dave 2D. Content creators don't own a color. Stay in school. Now with that out of the way, let's jump right into the newest addition here with the Ghost Aerox 3 wireless from SteelSeries. This has a few changes versus the original Aerox 3 that came out last year, including pure PTFE feet now, and a nice clear transparent shell, hence the Ghost naming to it. Visually, I'm loving it. The RGB shines through really nicely as well, looks really cool I think. Design-wise, it's that symmetrical ambi shape, I would say on the smaller to medium side, but it comes in at just 66 grams, so it's definitely still lightweight. Now, one of the changes I made to this, which completely changes the mouse, is yes, like I said, we do have their new PTFE feet underneath, but I put on a pair of Lexip ceramic feet. Now this thing has a crazy buttery smooth glide, it's just slightly more elevated now. I know some people have issues with like lift-off distance and stuff, but for me, the feet fix all problems now. This is just a killer combo, I am loving it. Now as a content creator, I go through tons of different gaming mice. I mained the Viper Ultimate for like 2 years. I mained the Prime Wireless for a while, the Starlight 12, but now I am just, like I said, loving this combo of the Ghost Aerox 3 wireless. Real quick, we'll keep it here with the mouse pad. This another new addition to the setup recently, and that's the newer Razer Strider. This is a really nice hybrid mouse pad. It has an evenly braided X and Y axis to the surface, so no matter what direction you're going in, up, down, left, right, figure eights, whatever, it's gonna be buttery smooth. And again, the combo with these Lexip ceramic feet is killer. Another really cool thing about the Strider is it is super water resistant and water repellent. I literally dumped water on here, left it for over 2 hours, and it barely absorbed anything at all. The repellency here is very, very impressive, and it's also moisture repellent as well. So if you live in a more humid climate and stuff, this won't get damp and sticky. I do have it in the extended version, which is the extra L size. I still believe it comes in under $50, so value-wise, very, very good. And it's often compared to the Artisan Heian mousepad, which is also held in pretty high regards. So the Razer Strider, right now, my main mousepad. Now moving on over to one of the more important aspects of a setup, the keyboard. This is the SteelSeries Apex Pro TKL. I've had this since January, I want to say, maybe even back to December, and it is awesome. I've definitely customized it since I put on different sets of keycaps. These, I believe, are like a Taihao Deep Forest Green keycap set that I put on some of the modifier keys. Again, just to fit into that midnight green colorway. Also get a nice little matching Artisan as well. But in terms of form factor, I much prefer the TKL size over a full-size keyboard, obviously because I don't really need a numpad for me, so I like the smaller footprint, and it just has, what I need. It's the essentials. I hate numpads. Don't need it. TKL for the win. But there's also a few other things that it has that for me just makes it worthy of being my main. One very important one is a USB pass-through on the backside. This is great because of all the things that I'm testing and plugging in on the desktop, having a USB pass-through here is clutch. Whether it's like a different macro pad or some sort of desktop accessory, I can just plug it in here without having to go back to my PC and plug it in behind there and then route it. Here I can just tuck it right in under the keyboard and be good to go. You're probably wondering why I have a coiled cable wrapped around the stock cable, and that's because yet again, it's just a way for me to plug in other hardware, other peripherals if I need to. That's plugged into my PC. I keep the USB-C side underneath the keyboard so I can just pull it out, plug in something, and it's all kept nice and tidy. And it also gives it more of that custom look, hiding the stock thick rubber cable inside the coil. I think it looks better. But when it comes to gaming, these have their OmniPoint switches, which are very, very fast and adjustable. They're really interesting. These can be adjusted from 0.4 millimeters all the way up to 3.6 millimeters for the actuation point. So if you think about it, 0.4 millimeters, you're just like barely touching the key and it'll actuate, it'll register. It makes gaming lightning fast with this. Your input, your keystrokes, immediately being registered. It's also all adjustable on the fly. On the right side, the little OLED screen, you have a little dial there as well, so you can adjust things like volume, go through, create macros on the fly, go in and even like, change up your color settings, your RGB lighting profiles, all configurable, all right here. You can do things like have GIFs displayed. The little OLED screen with the little dial is definitely pretty cool. And like I said, for all the things that I'm using it for, these certain factors that other keyboards don't have makes it the main reason why it's my go-to keyboard. Now, a question I always get is, randomfrankp, you've built numerous high-end custom keyboards, so why do you use a pre-built gaming keyboard? I just mentioned it to you guys. The pass-through is great. The OLED and on-the-fly media adjustment is awesome. Adjustable switches for gaming, awesome. All things you can't find and really do on a custom keyboard. Also, when I'm making these custom keyboards, they're really like a nice display piece that I still do use in other aspects. And think of it as this, someone who plays guitar and collects guitars, they don't use them all at once, right? Some of them are just for display. Some of them are for, collection and stuff. You're not gonna use all your guitars at once. Same applies to keyboards. Just because I have, more than a few customs doesn't mean I'm gonna use them all at the same time. And the last little accent piece here for the Apex Pro TKL is this wooden resin wrist rest that I got from Novelkeys. This is a really nice color matching like deep green to go along with the keycaps and the RGB lights that I have just static in the keyboard. Again, just visually, it ties it all together. Now, when it comes to audio, my go-to pair of headphones has been the Sennheiser HD 800S. I bought these in 2019, and they've always been like my personal holy grail headphones because they are just outrageous. These are definitely more of a high-end luxury pair of headphones, no doubt about it. They feature massive 56mm drivers, and the fact that they're open back is really what sold me. I've talked about it numerous times. I love open back headphones because when it comes to gaming, they are just so much more immersive. And that's the biggest thing with HD800S. Is like when I'm playing Battlefield and stuff, you are literally in the middle of the battlefield. It doesn't really feel like you're wearing headphones. Well, it does with these. They're kind of, bulky-ish, but the audio is all around you. The soundstage is crazy. And I'll admit, they're not the most comfortable. They're very harsh in terms of sibilance and like high-end frequencies with treble. So there are some things I definitely don't like about these headphones. But again, just the overall sound, the feeling, the immersion this really does provide, it's what makes them in the end my personal favorite. And I mean, come on, they look pretty crazy too, right? And then lastly is a secondary peripheral for my go-to controller because not every game can really, take advantage of a mouse and keyboard. A bunch of racing games are just easier with controller. I like to play a lot of skateboarding games, so like Skater XL and Session, all better to be played with a controller, obviously. And that is my custom PS5 controller from Hex Gaming. This one is really unique because it has this sort of color shifting chameleon paint to it. So it's like a green, like a purple color shift. On the back, you have really nice, like grippy textured paddles on the side. And also you'll see right here, these are extra, triggers on the back, extra inputs. So I showed off a different custom PS5 controller that I got from Colorware, but this one from Hex Gaming does have those extra gaming features. It's the same DualSense PS5 controller, but just, heavily modified and customized. So again, that color shifting chameleon shell I think looks really nice. In the direct light, it's mainly green, and on the shadows and stuff, when you look around it, that's when that purple starts to kick in. Thumbsticks are swappable, they have convex, concave, different heights and stuff. On the back side of the left and right paddles, it has this really nice grippy texture to it. It just feels great in the hand. Hey now. By the way, does this shot creep anybody out? But I really dig those extra mappable triggers you get on the backside. Having those extra inputs is always great on a controller. And again, it's wireless. I've seen this done on other controllers, but it's wired. So here, you get all the customization, plus it's still wireless. I know I glossed over it pretty quick because again, it's a secondary peripheral. I don't use it too much. You could check it on their website and configure your own, a bunch of different customization options. But I'll talk about this more in a future video once we get to the holidays about, some of the best controllers out there for 2021. But yes, Hex Gaming, really good job here at the customization and the look. And I want to hear from you guys. If you're still watching, drop a comment down below and tell me what your current peripherals are. And guys, that'll wrap it up for my go-to peripherals, my favorite loadout for 2021. Hope you all enjoyed. Like I said, if you want to check any of it out, I'll have it all listed for you in the description down below. If you like this episode, give it a big thumbs up, show your support. Feel free to follow me on Twitter at randomfrankp. And lastly, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Hope you all enjoyed. Have a good day.